Hey, oh, sorry, I almost did my intro, Joe, but I forget to wait. Yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes I forget to wait till the camera kind of like goes a little bit further, and then I start my intro. So anyway, hi guys, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day of the week raw. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about all of my classes, my top 5 classes that were difficult for me in middle school. Now, I was pretty much in academic classes in middle school. Like, they were very hard, and they were hard. I couldn't really do them too well, and they were super frustrating for me, and mainly because there was so much homework, there was so much stuff to do, and also my teachers sometimes weren't helpful. So, well, actually, most of my teachers were helpful. Just one teacher I had wasn't very helpful. So I'm going to get started, and let me know if you guys are in middle school and high school. What are your subjects that are difficult for you? Comment down below. So I'm going to get started. So number 1 on my list would have to be English, and this was for middle school. English was very hard for me for middle school because we had so much homework in that class. I remember I had to switch English classes in 7th grade. I was in a class that was taught, also an English class that was taught by my math teacher. And then my math/English teacher just decided to teach math. And then I switched to an English class, but that English class was way too hard for me and I was failing. So I got switched to a lower English class. And this subject was pretty hard for me just because of all the reading, and I had to do a lot of reading comprehension, and I have really bad reading comprehension. Sometimes I have to reread the paragraph and then write down what I wrote for the paragraph, and it was very, very difficult for me because I just had a lot to remember when it came to reading, and we had to read pretty much every night. We had to usually pick random books, chapter books from our bookshelves in order to read for school and in the class, but sometimes we would read chapter books in the class. I remember in 7th grade we read Roll Up Thunder, Hear My Cry, but then when we switched English teachers we didn't get to finish the book, so we had to return it, and it was just a lot of work, a lot of reading, and I did not like English in middle school. Well, and English is one of my favorite subjects in school. Number 2 on my list would have to be math, and this was for middle school. Now, I hated math in middle school. It was just so hard for me. I think it was also because my teacher wasn't very patient sometimes. When I didn't understand it, she kind of like had other people working with me. She tried to help me, but mainly she was pretty nice, despite the fact she was very impatient with me trying to do the work and stuff. And what sucks was this teacher did not send any work home, so if we ever had a test, we couldn't study for the test, which made it very difficult for a lot of us who needed the work to study, and it was all in class stuff. Everything had to be done in class. The workbook had to be done in class. If you didn't finish it, you had to go outside and do the work, and she just would never send us any homework home, so we didn't have time to review it ourselves because my teacher never sent homework home. Same thing with my 8th grade math teacher. He never sent any homework home, but he was a lot more helpful than my 7th grade math teacher was. And it just wasn't my best subject. Number 3 on my list had to be science, and this was for middle school. So most of this stuff was in middle school because, like I said, I wasn't in special ed, but I was in I was in general ed for science, and science was not an easy subject for me, let me tell you. Like, the work was really hard sometimes. I had to be asking for help on it. And sometimes I didn't understand it. But my teacher was pretty helpful with instructions for the homework and everything, and I would get C's in the class, I got a C in science in 7th grade, and my teacher was very nice and helpful. It's just science just wasn't very easy for me because there was just so much to remember for me. I had to remember this, I had to remember that, I had to remember everything when it came to science, and it was just a lot to remember because we just had so much stuff we had to do, and it also was hard because we just had a lot of homework in that class. Number 4 on my list would have to be drama, and this was middle school. Now, I do not do drama. I can't act in front of people. I couldn't act in front of people. I've gotten so much better at getting up in front of people, but I would get super nervous to get up in front of people. I remember I pretty much tried to chicken out, but then I know if I didn't participate, I would get a bad grade, which wouldn't be good. So I just participated anyway, even though I didn't like being in front of people. I just tried my best to participate. Okay, so I remember in drama one time we had to act out fairy tales, and what's weird was I was the only one in my drama class who knew the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Nobody else knew it, which I thought was kind of weird because Jack and the Beanstalk is a popular story. So we had to act out Jack and the Beanstalk, and so we had one person play a cow, one person play Jack, one person play Jack's mother, and I was the Beanstalk, and then we had somebody play the giant. And so I had to tell everybody how the story was and what the plot of the story was, because nobody knew the story, which I thought was a little weird because normally you know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk by the time you're in middle school. Number 5 on my list would have to be Spanish. Now, Spanish, and this was middle school. So most days class were hard for me in middle school because I was in general ed classes in middle school. I was in special ed in high school, but I don't think my middle school really had general ed classes. So I mean not general ed, special ed. I only had one special ed class, and that was English. Anyway, number 5 on my list had to be Spanish, and this was middle school. Now, Spanish was a really hard subject. I did not choose to do Spanish. Spanish was put on my schedule randomly because, like, when I was in 7th grade, we didn't get to pick our classes. We had to go with one class for the first part of the semester, and the first part of the semester went from September until November, and then the rest of sorry, I'm having a brain fade. The Spanish class went from November until February, till the end of January. So one thing I didn't not like Spanish at all. I think it was because of my Spanish teacher, because she wasn't really very nice or helpful. Well, she kind of was rude. I remember, like, she was trying to teach us all Spanish, and like she'd get mad at me for everything. Even if I didn't even do anything wrong, she'd just get mad at me. I don't know. She just wasn't a very patient teacher, and she just wasn't my favorite Spanish teacher. But she sadly retired after 2006. She retired in 2006 at the end of the year, and so did my math teacher. She also retired in 2006 at the end of the year. And I didn't like Spanish just because my teacher just was not very nice. So this was the only class that was hard for me, just because I couldn't focus because the teacher wasn't very patient, and Spanish just was not an easy subject for me to learn. Okay, so those are my top 5 hardest classes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day of the week, and I'll see you really soon. Bye!